Helen Zille.
Halala Helen Zille. Halala Helen Zille. Besithi phansi ngozuma. Phansi ngozuma. Phansi malema. Phansi malema. Halala Helen Zille. Halala Helen Zille. Halala Helen Zille. Halala Helen Zille.
Viva Helen Zille, viva! Viva Democratic Alliance, viva!
Viva!
Tata Helen Zille, tata! Ayoba Helen Zille, ayoba!
Niyabasabana.
Asibasabi, siyabafuna.
Siyabasabana.
Hayi, asibasabi, siyabafuna.
Siyabasabana.
Hayi, asibasabi, siyabafuna.
Fellow South Africans, friends, Democrats, blue people everywhere, welcome to the DA's magnificent final election rally here in Jozi. Our Vote for Jobs rally. It's been a long campaign. We've worked day and night. Sisebenza ubusuku nemini. Ons het dag en nacht gewerkt. We have traveled to every corner of our beautiful country. We launched our campaign in Limpopo. 9 weeks ago, 9 full weeks ago. And since then, we have crisscrossed all 9 provinces, telling Mzansi about our plan for economic growth that can bring jobs to millions more South Africans. Wherever the DA's Blue Army has gone, we have been amazed at the response of South Africans from every community. Hundreds of thousands of you are looking forward to voting DA for the first time. Millions of South Africans are uniting behind the DA as the only positive hope for change. We are building a new blue majority to govern South Africa. At our launch in Polokwane 63 days ago, I said that this election is about the choice that voters must make to build a better life for all South Africans. Your government's job is to make this progress possible, to grow an economy that creates jobs, to improve education, to provide decent health care, and to deliver services. And remember that in a democracy, the government is supposed to work for you. You hire the government and you can fire it. And we all know how it is done. You hire with your vote and you fire with your vote. You hire with your vote and you fire with your vote. If our government was doing its work properly, South Africa would be attracting much more investment, and the economy would be growing much faster to create the jobs we need to tackle our biggest problem, which is unemployment and poverty. When a government becomes corrupt, when it does not do its job properly, the economy declines, unemployment grows, poverty deepens, and the powerful few just get richer and richer. And that is the sad story of our own country over the last 5 years. That is what has happened to our own country over the last 5 years. Fellow Democrats, blue people everywhere, it does not have to be this way. Dit hoef nie so te wees nie. If we think back further than the past 5 years, there is no doubt that life in South Africa today is better than it was under apartheid. Much better than it was under apartheid today. Every adult now has the right to vote. We have social grants that protect the poor from extreme poverty. We have a constitution that should limit power abuse. We have put in place measures to redress the evil legacy of apartheid. Many of us in the DA fought for these changes, and we all celebrate them today. Under Presidents Nelson Mandela and Thabo Mbeki, there was economic growth and there was development. And that meant more jobs. We did not agree with everything that government did, yet we have to say there was progress. But in the last 5 years, under President Jacob Zuma, the ANC has changed. Its leaders believe they will rule forever, so they have forgotten about the people who put them into power. The ANC has become arrogant because they believe that the voters will carry on voting for them, whatever they do. Well, they are in for a big shock on Wednesday. Bazokotuka, Golwestatu, Bazokotuka, hulle gaan baie groot skrik. Because everywhere we have been in South Africa, the people have told us the same thing. ANC ayisafani. ANC ayisafani. Die ANC is nie meer die self-Denis. It is not the organization it once was. It has become corrupt and only cares about the very few at the top. It is time to send the ANC a very clear message. And the only way that you can do this is through your vote. I-vote yakho ngamandla akho. I-stem is die mag om 'n korrupte regering die trekpas te gee. In 4 days' time, you can send Jacob Zuma's ANC a message that says, we demand change, less corruption, better services, and more jobs. We demand change. Sinyanzelisa utshintsho, ons drang aan op verandering. The DA is the party that can bring that change. I-DA lilona qela linokhuzisa utshintsho. Die DA is die enigste party op die stembrief wat daardie verandering kan bring. That future of change, growth and jobs is with the DA. Ikamva esizandleni zenu. Just a few days ago, Musi and I went to visit a hostel in Alex, right here in Jozi, where we met many families living in terrible conditions. Hostels are a relic of apartheid, and they exist all over South Africa. But where the DA governs, the program of turning hostels into homes is making very good progress. But in Alex, I saw the opposite. I saw a hostel sinking in sewage and waste despite a multi-million rand Alexander renewal program launched 7 years ago. I spoke to Mrs. Cynthia Nsia, who told me that the project was bogged down in conflict and corruption. Mrs. Msia demanded to know what had happened to the millions budgeted for the upgrade of the Alex Hospital. Today we say to all South Africans what I said to Cynthia: enough of corruption. Phansi ngokhwapelizo phansi. Phansi ngokhwapelizo phansi. Down corruption, down. Ons het genoeg van korrupsie gehad. Genoeg is genoeg. Enough is enough. Kwanele, kwanele. It is time for all South Africans to stand together for change, together for jobs. Saam vir verandering, saam vir werk. Kinakho lixesha ngoku. Siyasebenzisana ukudala utshintsho, siyasebenzisana ukudala imisebenzi. Lisebenza moho hutlisa phetoho, lisebenza moho ho etsa mesebetsi. When President Zuma became president 5 years ago, he promised 5 million new jobs. But what have we seen? We have seen 1.4 million more unemployed people. He promised also that he would stop corruption. Haibo, usihlekisa nyani, usihlekisa. Blue people, if you only remember one thing when you go to vote next Wednesday, just remember this. Unemployment is lowest where the DA governs. In the past 5 years, we created more jobs than any of the other provinces, and we have stopped corruption. The broad unemployment rate where the DA governs is 12% lower than the national average. Don't take my word for it. These are statistics published by the national government, and the national minister should actually read their own statistics. And according to the United Nations, the DA-run city of Cape Town has the lowest level of inequality of all South Africa's major cities. That is a wonderful story, and it is completely contrary to everything the ANC likes to say about the DA. Where we govern, there is more jobs, there is no corruption, and there is less inequality. Viva DA, viva!
Viva!
Since we have been in government, the average matric pass rate in our poorest schools has increased from 57% to 73%. 76% of the Western Cape's budget is spent on service delivery in the poor communities. And according to the census, 99% of households in the Western Cape have access to piped drinking water. 93.4% have access to electricity, and we are the only province that ensures that people living in informal settlements get access to electricity, and 90.5% have access to flush toilets. This is the highest access anywhere in the country, and people are beginning to recognize this. That is why, and this is a very important development, that is why the biggest association of shack dwellers in South Africa, Abahlali Basemjondolo, has endorsed the Democratic Alliance in this election. Viva Abahlali, viva!
Viva!
Pambili Abahlali, pambili! Because Abahlali Basemjondolo know that people living in informal settlements get a much better and bigger deal under the DA than they get anywhere else, because we deliver better services where the DA governs. Now, Abahlali Basemjondolo has recognized that. People who represent the poorest of the poor say that we deliver better for all South Africans, and we improve the lives of the poor better than any other party for all South Africans. Now, if we can do that, and you heard the statistics that I've just mentioned, where we govern, imagine what we could do if the voters gave us a chance to govern South Africa. Just imagine what we could do for everyone living in this magnificent country. It is up to you. The DA is strong. Sinamandla. The DA is strong. We have never been stronger. The DA is for all South Africans. We are growing in every community, in every province, in every village. There is not a single street today where you will not find blue people. The Blue Army is everywhere. They once spoke about a Zuma tsunami. We talk about the Blue Army, and it is about to wash the Zumani off the face of South Africa. And together we can win. Together we can build an economy that gives everyone an opportunity to live a life they really value. This is the DA difference. Ngumehluko we DA. Dit is die DA verskil. Just imagine how South Africa would look after the next 5 years if voters give the DA a chance on Wednesday. Think of what we can do if we stand together for change and together for jobs. Nisinike ituba. Nisinike ituba. The DA difference will help people to start and grow businesses and create more jobs. The DA difference is that politicians serve the people and not the other way around. You will not find any Nkandlas where the DA governs. The DA difference means that social grants are efficiently administered and well handed out to people. The DA difference means that the poor are prioritized. The DA difference means that we put poor people first. Yindawo apho abantu banethemba. Where the DA governs, there is hope for all. The DA has a wonderful package for all South Africans. We will invest 10% of GDP in our infrastructure to be absolutely sure that this economy grows with the infrastructure that we need to grow. We will create an environment for 8% economic growth that, over a decade, will create 6 million new, real, permanent job opportunities. We will ensure that everybody who qualifies to go to university can get funding, because we have pledged 16 billion rand for the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, so that no student who can get into university should be prevented from doing so because they haven't got the money. And over 5 years, we will create 1 million internships so that new people in the job market can get the experience they need to rise up and to build careers and to climb the ladder of opportunity so that they can build a better future for themselves and their children. That is the DA difference. And you can make it happen because you have the power. One thing the politicians have forgotten in South Africa is that the people have the power and not the politicians. And when politicians believe that they will be there forever because the people will keep voting for them, we have to say, you are making a big mistake. Because we will show you with our vote, we hire with our vote, and we fire with our vote. So in this election, the DA can make a magnificent breakthrough if all the blue people stand together. If we all want to bring a better life for all South Africans. And that is our commitment to you, to work every single day for you. And this election comes down to two basic questions. Is South Africa a better place than it was 5 years ago? Is your life better than it was in 2009? Ingaba ubomi bakho bubethele kunango 2009? For the majority of South Africans, the answer to both questions is no. Impendulo nguhayi. My appeal to you is simple. Stand together with the DA on the 7th of May. Vote for the DA and see what we will do over the next 5 years. Stand with the DA, together for change, together for jobs. We can change South Africa for the better if we work together. Let's unite together on the 7th of May and vote for a diverse and dynamic force for change that will bring jobs for millions more South Africans. On 7 May, the Blue Army is coming to South Africa. DA 7 May, 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 DA 7 May. I can't hear you.
7 May, DA 7 May, DA 7 May.
I still can't hear you. DA 7 May, DA 7 May, DA 7 May, DA 7 May, DA 7 May,
DA 7 May.
There was such a wonderful cheer when I spoke in Sesotho. There was such a wonderful cheer when I spoke in Sesotho that I think we must sing a song in Sesotho. Kai kapa kai rialewena 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 kai kapa kai rialewena rialewena rialewena
Kichima,
Kichima.
Namasa, Jagala Kichima,
Kichima.
Namasa, Babu Lisani,
Morelli, Morelli,
Babu Lisani,
Morelli, Morelli,
Babu Zipino,
Ninja.
Aibo,
Ninja.
Babu Zipino,
Ninja.
Aibo, Jiribata, Tazuma,
Hi.
Jiribata, Tazuma,
Hi.
Hey, Ta, Ta, Ta,
Ta.
Hey, Ta, 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 Bas speaking of man, Bas Khalle, Bas speaking of man, Bas Khalle, Bas speaking of man, Bas Khalle, Jiribata, Tazuma, Jiribata, Tazuma, Hey, Ta, Ta, Hey, Ta, Andalapat, Imam Mumtajo, Andalapat, Imam Mumtajo,
of the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille, ending that speech there, making an impassioned plea to about 25 million people who have registered to vote in next week's elections.